Let's take a journey 2,500 miles due west at the same latitude to the forest where they filmed The Goonies-ish. Any Goonie fans out there? Truffle Shuffle? Yes. The trees there have a good life. They can grow hundreds of feet tall. They can grow to be 1,000 years old. They can grow too big for me and two of my friends to all hug at the same time. They live a good life. Mild climate, a lot of water. And in the middle of that rainforest, there are meadows where no trees grow. Like 1 per million acres. And they're tiny. They're only a couple acres big. And when you look at photos that were taken the first time we put cameras on airplanes there in the 1940s or so, there they are. Same shape, same size, same place. And why are they there? That's the question that I'm trying to answer here. The first thing I want to talk about is how long they've been there. When you take soil and look for the little pieces of plants left behind called phytoliths, literally plant rocks, that can persist in the soil for 10,000 years or more, you find that the grass phytoliths of one shape dominate in meadow soils, and the forest or tree phytoliths of another shape dominate in forest soils, down very deep. And when you date charcoal from those layers, you find out those meadows are hundreds to thousands of years old. Most of those meadows are as old as Dartmouth, celebrating its 250th birthday. Some of those meadows are 10 times that old. So why are they still there? I've gone out and I've dug more holes, taken more dirt back to the lab, and I've counted little trees and I've planted trees out in them, and I have found that the soils in those meadows are different than the soils in the adjacent forest. No farther away than from me, say, to the Hanover Inn, the soils are significantly different, chemically, physically, and that when I plant trees in meadows and find out whether they interact with other plants or with the things eating them, herbivores, I find that the trees don't grow very well based on where they're planted, and they don't grow very well when herbivores are allowed to eat them, which lends support to a dominant hypothesis in this field called the climate herbivore hypothesis, that there were no trees at the last glacial maximum. It was too cold for them, and as the glaciers retreated north, the trees followed them, but the large herbivores have kept them out of meadows. And my specific contribution is to suggest that those herbivores, being large, go lots of places and eat lots of trees, but that the soils are very patchy. It's a patchwork quilt of bedrock from islands glommed onto North America from the Atlantic Ocean, and that they hold nutrients differently, and that trees cannot respond to that herbivory in those meadows. Thanks.